Good Sunday morning, everybody. I hope you are having a great day so far, and hopefully, we're able to get out and enjoy yesterday and hopefully the sunscreen too. I feel like I just said hopefully 55 times. But good morning, Luke, 55 in Lake Norman there in Catawba County. That's a comfortable start. Good morning, Joy. Biggest thing I want to drive home today is that we do have a change in the forecast. We are bringing in the opportunity for some scattered showers and storms, mainly this afternoon. Still this morning, though, lots of clearing skies for the most part. We do have a little bit of high cloud cover seen here from our Kannapolis camera. And truth be told, oh, looks like our graphics are frozen. Give me one second. Truth be told, it's definitely one of those mornings where we are seeing a little bit more of that patchy haze, things of that nature. Even as, of course, the risk of smoke and haze, has lowered overall compared to last week. We are still seeing some of that. You can see here live from our Kannapolis camera. As we go into time, hour by hour, temperatures are warming up quickly. We're already in the upper 60s to lower 70s for most of the region right now. And then we, of course, have even more warmth on the way this afternoon. Yesterday's high temperature right around 85 degrees. Let's see if those graphics want to progress. Another day where the graphics don't like me. Here it goes. There you go. So this morning, of course, 70 degrees right now. We'll eventually reach the lower 80s by about lunchtime. And then I think a few spots will reach the mid to upper 80s again. So I'm kind of going the same forecast as yesterday, around 55, 56 degrees. But the biggest change you'll see here is the fact that storms do return. Now, before we get to all of that mess, I do want to quickly show you the current air quality index. Of course, this is a big story for most of the country earlier this week. We are seeing improvement up toward those New England states. You can see Boston over toward Long Island, starting to see some moderate to good or healthy conditions there. Still some of that yellow mixing in, but our air quality is going to substantially change as this cold front moves in, as it kind of like pushes some of that last little bit of smoke and haze out of the upper levels of our atmosphere. I wouldn't be surprised though if a few folks still felt a little bit, just like maybe like a little bit of a scratch later on today. Satellite and radar still off to our west. You can see the showers and storms. So no, I'm not crazy. We are going to see that potential for some of that severe weather later on today. Now, I'm not Brad. He has those fancy, like, little ability to draw on the screen, even when he's doing one of these streams. I don't have that. Good morning, Billy from Kershaw. But I am going to try to kind of break down my thinking with today's rain and storm chances. Now, we do have a very low risk of a few strong to severe storms west of I-77. But what's important about these maps, so when they send out the severe weather risk from the Storm Prediction Center, is this map technically goes from 8 a.m. today all the way toward 8 a.m. tomorrow. Now, the timing is up to your local meteorologist, right, to tell you the timing of that. So this includes, you see all that red there off to the west? That's toward Atlanta, Nashville, London, Kentucky, even into northern half there of Alabama. Those folks are seeing it earlier. For us, we know the timing is later. So although it encompasses essentially a 24-hour period, that doesn't mean you technically have that risk, right, for a full 24 hours. So just kind of want to get that out of here. So this evening and overnight is really our best chance to see some of those strong to severe thunderstorms. Now, the risk for the most part is still very low, and here's why. The first round that comes in early this afternoon, I'm not convinced that the instability will be enough to see severe weather. Remember, severe weather is a specific criteria. It's wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. It is hail over an inch or an inch or higher. That's a quarter size, or a tornado. We are not having no threat for tornadoes. Just want to get that out of there. But I don't really see a lot of support either for large hail. So gusty winds will be primary. However, you have to get over 60 miles per hour to technically be under a severe thunderstorm warning. So, we talk a lot about that distinction between strong storms where there's a lot of heavy rain, lightning, and an actual severe thunderstorm. Now, the first round of showers and storms will have heavy rain, frequent lightning, and I think wind gusts close to about 40 to 50 miles per hour, not out of the question. So, should you bring those outdoor things outside you don't want to blow around? Yes. However, is your trampoline going to fly into the neighbor's yard? Winds probably are not that high. So this timing here is going to be mainly after 2 p.m. I think for the Charlotte Metro, it'll be closer to about 3 or 4. But still, I would say from pretty much like all the way toward, western Cleveland County towards Shelby, all the way until it's pretty much out of here, 2 to 6 p.m. will be your best chance for heavy rain and storms. Now, that first round clears out. Then we have a second round. It's the second round by this evening and overnight that we actually have the better chance for those gusty winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. So that's round number one I just showed you. It's this next one that comes in Sunday evening, again, that has the best chance of those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So the earlier rain and storms, some strong storms are possible, heavy rain, frequent lightning, gusty winds. But the actual severe storms, again, tonight, overnight, into Monday. Now, this is kind of where we get into the nuance in terms of severe weather. Um, is this as big of a deal because less people out on the roads, things like that? Well, no. However, my biggest concern always, even if we have damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, is when it happens at night when people are asleep, is that they don't know what's going on. Now, yes, it's not a tornado, but damage from severe storms, 90% of that is wind damage here in the Carolinas. Only about 10% is things like hail and tornado related. So it's still potential for strong to severe storms. You should still have a way to get weather alerts. I, of course, suggest the WCNC Charlotte mobile app. I think it's great to use because you turn on the location settings and you get alerts even if you're traveling, you know. Now, of course, then you can also get your local forecast from a meteorologist who's trained, who updates it, and not the crap that you get on the app on your phone. Something else that's important to note is this forecast that is a little bit tricky because of that first round of showers and storms. If the atmosphere stabilizes enough from the rain that we get, that would lower that potential. Now, that's all good things, but just kind of a little bit like if you see that low risk and then we don't get any severe storms, you're like, what? Well, just remember one, it's low. Two, it's west of 77, but three, it's primarily later in the day, and the risk will largely depend on how much instability we get. You know, more instability, better chance of storms. So the first round of rain could cause some rain cooled air that could limit the daytime heating, but I'm really just not seeing a lot of support for that early round in general to have severe weather. Again, that doesn't mean we won't see strong storms, just actual severe storms. Now, as we go through Monday morning, this is something that I do think people should be aware of. When you're driving around Monday morning, there will be some pockets of heavy rain, more thunderstorms on the way. I don't think that this is necessarily like a widespread flooding risk, but there may be slick spots on the roads, people going back to work. It's Monday morning. Y'all know how it is. You're either slumped in the car because you don't want to go back and you're driving maybe slower just because you don't want to go into the office, or you're booking it because you're trying to get there, you know, fast and kind of get the week started. So just give yourself a few extra minutes. Stop for coffee. I'm giving you permission to do it. Take a deep breath, things like that. Now, a lot of the rain and storms on Monday will be early in the morning. And actually, as we get past the morning hours, that low wind risk for strong to severe storms actually shifts slightly east. I have this circled here still. I circled some of these storms just to kind of show you that second round. But again, notice that there's still some lingering storms there Monday afternoon. That will be east of 77. So this evening and overnight, west of 77. Tomorrow, if there's any lingering activity, it'll be east of 77. Now, it's once this front passes by that we finally kind of get that air quality really, really good. A lot of that smoke haze in the upper levels of the atmosphere will finally start to clear, and things will be much nicer heading into Tuesday, Wednesday. We're not completely rain and storm free, but overall, it'll feel a little bit better. I lowered the rain chances to about 20 to 30% at a maximum. Now, the severe weather impacts both days are the same in terms of gusty winds is primary, small hail, but mostly just some run-of-the-mill strong storms. These are the afternoon thunderstorms we get very typical in the Carolinas. So heavy rain, frequent lightning. But again, that's not a severe weather threat. The main severe weather threat is those winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. I hope this makes sense. If you guys have any questions, of course, you can always, comment on them, send me a message, things like that. Now, we know today's and tomorrow's is both low. Rest of the week, we kind of clear out that risk. I will, by the later half of this week, be watching the potential for temperatures to get really, really hot, upper 80s to near 90. A lot of times with that hot and humid air moving back in, we can get a little bit hazy again. And that can, especially in big cities, cause that ground level ozone start to come out. So that's something we will be watching later on this week, especially on Thursday and Friday. Now, that's not as much, of an air quality issue like what we had last week, but just something to keep in mind. So here's the Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. I did add some extra text to kind of give a little bit more clarification. So today, again, we know the storms are only in the afternoon. Some could become strong. That will continue overnight into Monday. Temperature's still warm though, low to mid 80s. Tuesday, Wednesday, a little bit drier, but still a few showers and storms possible. And then we actually do start to clear some of that out by Thursday and Friday. I mentioned this before. It's really hard to find days where we actually have no chance of rain here in the Carolinas, especially into June. But we've actually been a little bit cooler than average for late May, early June so far. So when we get some of that cool, I mean, I said cooler is relative, right? I mean, we're not talking like December and January when the highs are in the 50s, but still cooler for June standards, and then a little bit drier. So the dew points are a little bit lower, less humidity, of course, means lesser chance for storms. Now, as we look ahead, I am including the 10-day forecast here so you guys can see it. And to Father's Day weekend, next weekend, there are some storms possible both Saturday and Sunday, but it doesn't look to be a widespread threat by any stretch of the imagination, and temperatures will be warm in the mid to upper 80s. So that's what my dad likes. He complains when it's 70. So hopefully y'all are good with that. Of course, we'll talk more timing and intensity as we get closer to next weekend, but it's truthfully not looking like a bad weekend. Nothing like what we had on Memorial Day. And really, other than the chance for some strong to severe storms next, 24 to 36 hours, um, it really doesn't look, too bad here over the next week, week and a half. Otherwise, quick update. There's nothing going on in the tropics. So we're not worried about that right now. But remember, hurricane season did start about a week and a half ago. So we will be talking about that here over the next few days. Hopefully, this gave you guys a good idea of what's going on in your forecast. I'll continue to update you, of course, throughout the week. And yeah, we had a bit of a weird show this weekend because of the French Open, which I love because I love tennis. I will say I also kind of loved because I didn't have to get here quite as early for work because we had no 6 a.m. But hopefully you guys are able to watch that. Have a great time. Novak Djokovic, one of the best tennis players, is playing right now. So maybe you can tune into NBC for that and then come over here and watch my severe weather stream. Bottom line, folks, is that today's risk is not significantly high, but I just still want you to be weather aware if you do have outdoor plans. Taste of Charlotte's still going on. We have other activities today. So just know 2 p.m. and afterward, we are going to be tracking some strong to severe storms at times, but the best threat for those severe storms, so winds in excess of 60, will be this evening and overnight into Monday. Have a happy, safe, healthy rest of your Sunday. Make sure you're wearing sunscreen because the UV index is still very high. And I will see ya off and on throughout the upcoming week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Chris will be off Thursday, Friday, so I'll be filling in on midday and 4 p.m. for Brad. So hope to see you there. Have a blessed Sunday. And thanks, Billy. I just saw you say hi. Hey there. Oh, and hey, Kels, my best friend. Always tuning in because she is probably my most loyal viewer. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to email me, DM me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, things like that, and I'll try to update you. Have a good rest of your day.